Hello, good evening, students. Uh, in our previous session on direct and indirect speech or direct and indirect narration, we discussed about change of pronoun. I'm sure you're familiar with pronouns. They can be of for a speaker, the first person, for the listener, and there is the second person, and third person, that is for other people. For example, for ourselves, we use I, we, or our, us, ours. For second person, we use you, your, yours. For some other people, we use he, she, it, they, them, their other forms. So, the simple rule is while changing the speech, because this is the speech, he said to me, I am waiting for the result. This is what he said. But it's the same thing I'm going to repeat to tell my other friend. So I have to speak that particular thing in my own words. And for that, all these rules that we are going to learn. So as I told you, change of pronoun, the rules follows. I'll take one example that will make the things a little clear. He said to me, he is the speaker. Said to me is the listener. I am the listener. I am waiting for the result. He said for himself. So this way also you can understand. But if not, then you can remember this rule. That first person pronoun, that is I, has to change according to the subject, according to the speaker. And in this case it is he. So it becomes now, he told me that he was waiting for the result. One more thing you might have noticed, that am has been changed to was. Why so? Of course, it depends on when somebody said anything and when you are repeating repeating it. So accordingly, the tense also has to change because time is changing. So few simple rules will help you. If the reporting verb is in present or future tense, like I say to him, I will tell him, present or future, there will be no change in the tense of the reported speech. So what is actually being quoted will have no change in tense because the speaker is present or he is future. He will be speaking in future. Okay, I'll take one or two examples, but before you're going to that, I take one example. Say, he says to me, I was sick. In that case, because the reporting verb is in present tense, or even it was will say, future tense, there would be no change in the tense. Of course, the change of pronoun will be there. Like he says to me, first person pronoun will change according to the speaker, so that he was sick. Okay, so let's now define it the way I wanted to. Like if reporting verb is in present or future tense, there will be no change in the tense of the reported speech. Okay, so present tense and future tense reporting verb we are just excluding for our discussion. What is more important? and what actually sometimes vexes you. If reporting verb is in the past tense, then there can be two cases. Reported speech may be in present or future tense, or the other case may be that the reported speech is also in past tense. So two different situations. Now, if reporting verb is in past tense and reported speech in present or future tense, the verb of the reported speech will change into corresponding past. What I mean by corresponding past tense? Am, is, were, are will change as was and were. Shall will change into should, may, might, can, could, will, would, and all that. Okay, I will take maybe one example. He said to Mala, "You will win the race." Okay, if I want to change this, he told Mala that, of course, change of pronoun is involved. So you, second person pronoun, will change according to the listener. It is Mala is the listener. So for Mala, I will use she. Now, will, because reporting verb is in past tense, but reported speech is in future tense. So it will change into corresponding past. So will change into would. That she would win the race. One more example. I said to him, "You are insulting me." Okay. So that should be changed like he told me that he was, is are will change into was were, insulting me. Okay. Now I'll come to the next case. When reporting verb is in past tense and reported speech is also in past tense, then you should remember these rules. Verbs of reported speech will change as per this rule. First, simple past will change into past perfect. Like played will become had played. Past continuous will change into past perfect continuous. Like he was playing, he had been playing. Past perfect, like he had played, there will be no change. He had been playing, still there will be no change. But he said to me, "I completed my work yesterday." So he said to it and he told that the other things I will discuss these things again and again according to the type of sentences and how the connectors should be used and all that. But this is the most important thing. He told me that I completed my work yesterday. Some other words also change in case of past tense. I will discuss that. But here, he said to me, "I completed my work yesterday." He told me, that he had completed. You might have noticed, completed had been changed into had completed. Did will change into had done. Watched, had watched. Okay. Now I'll come to the next question. Next sentence. He said to you, "You are waiting." She's wasting your time. He said to you, "You were wasting your time." You were wasting. So this is past continuous. Was playing, was singing. Now that has to change into past perfect continuous. See, he told you that you is the second person pronoun. It will change according to the object, the listener. So you remains you. he told you that you had been, you had been wasting your time. So I hope you have understood this change of sentence. Tense of the sentence. Completed becomes had completed, and were wasting means had been wasting. Okay, so these are some simple things. What more we have to learn in this? We have to learn, different types of sentences now. Assertive sentences, interrogative sentences, imperative sentences, exclamatory sentences, and there will be slight rules. But this is the main important part of this particular chapter. Thank you very much. I hope my students have liked it. If you have liked it, please let me know. Thank you very much.